Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 17th. We're just going to jump right in here, Pisces. You start off with this crafter card. It says a talent just waiting to be expressed with your hands. Start a small business at home by creating novelties by hand. There you go. And you also have this real estate card. It says any dealings with real estate will be profitable. Build a solid foundation prior to building several stories above it. So I feel like you're working on something new, and some of you literally could be crafting or real estate. But here you go. You have another foundational card right here, the Four of Pentacles. Your very first card is all about kind of laying a solid foundation. So anything that you are working on, I would be focusing on like the basics, the foundation. You have another solid foundation card, the King of Cups. It's your card, but he's sitting in the middle of the ocean. You could see that he's sitting on this solid marble slab right here. So, again, you have a lot of symbolism here that has to do with your foundation and kind of like where you stand. Even the devil here, if you want to get super, super technical here, the devil is standing on the black box of Saturn right here. And so, I could go down a whole entire rabbit hole of conspiracies and other things involved with the black box of Saturn. You can feel free to look into it if you're into it. But what I would say here is that it can be foundational. It can represent something having to do with your foundation or the foundation you build something on, and being kind of like needing to be disciplined in what you are building. And I definitely feel that here for obvious reasons. For a lot of you, it's like you are rebuilding something here, or you're building something better, or building back better. Here is kind of what I'm getting. It's funny, you have this rock bottom card as well. And like with all these foundational cards, it's almost as if some of you could be rebuilding something, like an area of your life where you have had a tower moment. I don't even think this is like, and you have the Ace of Wands here as well. Sorry, I don't know why I'm not on this camera, but you have the Ace of Wands here. Ace of Wands, this castle in the background, is crumbling. Ace of Wands represents out with the old, in with the new. So it looks to me like you are rebuilding something bigger and better, and probably more successful. It could be you, just plain and simple. Looking at this reading, it could just be you that you are rebuilding, that you are improving. You have the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Wands. These are, really good cards, and they represent new beginnings. But sometimes, I feel that multiple aces in a reading can just really be talking about yourself, your own new beginning, some sort of, new opportunity that you're taking advantage of. And I kind of see that here. You have the devil. I would be careful of toxic energy, but I really don't feel like anything toxic or anything bad. Sorry, let me get this out of the way. It's, for whatever reason, it's just distracting me. But, again, I don't feel bad about this. I feel pretty good about this. I feel really it's talking about discipline. If I was being super picky, kind of intuitively, I feel that it's talking about skipping steps. So, don't skip steps. If you're starting something new, it doesn't matter what it is, business, relationship, a new health routine. I feel it's saying, do things in order. Don't assume that you know everything about, whatever it is that you're starting, even though you might know everything, about whatever it is that you're starting, especially if you're rebuilding. Sometimes if we have a failure in business or work or any other area of our life, we can be like, okay, I learned the lessons, and now I know what I need to fix, and then we rush right through something again. So, I kind of feel it's saying, like, take your time. You have the King of Cups here. Again, plain and simple, I feel like you're showing up in a very good position, and it's going to lead to a lot of success. So, I kind of like where this is going, but I need more details, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to clarify. I wish I had a different deck, but you know what? We're just going to roll with it here, Pisces, and this is what we're going to use, plain and simple. So there you go. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Five of Pentacles. I feel it's time to get moving. If you are fearing loss, I feel it's time to get moving here. Some of you, sometimes I think we experience a loss in the past, which, again, you have this rock bottom card. And so it seems to me like you have experienced loss of finances, loss of money, or loss of something else. And those fears of loss could be preventing you from taking risks big enough to be successful in the future. And I definitely feel that. I'm cheating a little bit because, again, for years, you had Uranus and Aries in your second house, literally the worst place that it possibly could be. And on top of that, being in your second house is even worse because it can cause a lot of, financial up and downs, a lot of financial stress. Uranus and Aries, I always say it's like one of those things where it's like you could need you could make a certain amount of money because Uranus is unpredictable. Your money could go up, and then, something could happen to that money. I always use the example when I had Uranus in my second in Aries, the same time you did. It's like I remember I had made a bunch of money with a business, and then I had to get my car fixed, and the amount of money that it cost was like exactly the same amount that I had made, almost to the penny, right? So it's like I made the money and then lost it right away. So I kind of feel that for some of you, where it's like that's what you're used to, but that's the old energy. That's not the new energy. And I feel you need to take those bigger risks, like in work and business specifically, to improve your financial situation. With the devil, you have the Hangman. I really feel you've been through a lot of lessons learning like what you can give your energy to, what you can't give your energy to. And I feel like this is saying, don't doubt it. Don't go backwards, plain and simple. With the King of Cups, you have the Ace of Pentacles, all these aces. Definitely an amazing new beginning coming in for you. I knew like this is going in a very good direction. So I feel that for a lot of you, there's just like a lot of good stuff coming in for you, a lot of happiness. I also feel some of you could be thinking about something as in an idea or something that you do want to build in your life. And I feel that this is saying, okay, like start building it. It's going to be much bigger than you expect. All these aces. So, again, I feel like you're starting from a good solid foundation, and, there you go. Next, you have a sunny day card. It says optimism leads to success. There you go. You're going in the right direction. Like, do you need more confirmation than that? I don't think so. You have this evil eye card. It says there's malice that surrounds you that wishes to destroy your success. There are several ways to protect yourself, blah, blah, blah. Make sure to protect yourself at this time. You do have the devil here. So again, if you feel like there are people who are sending you bad vibes or anything like that, then I would protect yourself. I always say one of the easiest ways to protect yourself is just not pay attention to it. Just in general, it's like when you ignore it, then you steal its power. So if you feel like people are doing something to you or whatever, you could do that. There are plenty of protection exercises online. I think all that stuff would be acceptable, but definitely could be. I also am getting here that I would just be careful I wouldn't tell anyone anything. Plain and simple. Any of your future plans, anything that you're working on here. By the way, this is the row of what you need to hear right now. I would say that I feel for a lot of you that you're in this zone right here. Temperance is a card of alchemy, turning one thing into another, but it's like sometimes I think with temperance, we're kind of wiggling back and forth. We are trying to not really perfect something, but we are trying to figure out how to, lock into a path. Let's put it that way. So, there's like a little bit of experimentation that goes on with temperance sometimes. He's pouring the water back and forth, trying to figure out what he wants to do. He needs to get onto this path over here, because that path with the crown is the path to glory. It's the path to everything he wants. He's got one foot in the water, one foot on land. It kind of suggests that he can ground something from his intuition. He can ground an idea. But also, at the same time, he kind of needs to walk through the water fully to get to that path over there. So don't be afraid to explore your intuition. But I also feel like if you're telling people like, oh, I'm going to go do this idea, and then you don't do it, I think that's where Pisces gets tripped up a lot. I know I do, right? It's like I tell people my ideas, then I always like switch to another idea, and then people just think I'm an idiot. So I think it would be better to do all that in your head first, right? And until you get started on like whatever project or business you want, and then tell people your ideas. You have the Four Swords, definitely in recovery period, or a time of recovery for you here, Pisces. So I see a lot of healing, and, I just see a lot of good energy around you. I feel like there are blessings that you're hoping for that are coming in for you. I also feel like you need to not try to rush things. Like some of you, I am hearing that you could want love, for example, but maybe it's not coming like in the time that you want, and you could be trying to rush it into your life. And I feel this is saying, I know it's annoying, but I feel it's saying kind of take your time. Don't try to rush something into your life. You have the King of Swords here. Again, King of Swords is about kind of like being an expert. He has all the knowledge and wisdom necessary to be very successful. I kind of feel that energy of needing to turn knowledge into wisdom. It's like you can learn things all day long, but until you put it into practice, it's not going to be anything. It's just going to exist in your head, and that's it. So I feel it's time for you to go this direction here. This is creation right here to the Ace of Wands. So it's definitely time for you to start rebuilding, or for you to build something new and amazing. Let's see where this is going. With the Temperance card, you have the Knight of Wands here. Some of you could have a Sagittarius coming in. It's funny, you show up in Sagittarius's reading all the time. There could be a Sag coming in for you. Doesn't have to be. Again, if you don't want a Sagittarius, I don't care. It could be another sign, right? Or just stay single. I also don't care. You have the Hierophant here. Could be a Taurus. So, again, I feel this could be love. I also feel this is encouraging you to get started. The Knight of Wands, he's willing to adventure. He's willing to go on adventure. He's willing to step into, unknown lands. He's willing to go places that no one else does. And that's where all your success is. Again, I really, truly feel that really, if I were a Pisces, and I am, for the next 20 years, I'm just doing stuff that no one else has ever done. And so, I don't know, I guess if I become more successful, then, I guess I will prove it to you. But again, don't let me prove it to you, prove it to yourself, because, again, that's just what I feel for Pisces. It's like what Pisces is going to create has probably never been seen by the world before. And again, I'm not trying to gas you up here, although I am, because I want to motivate you, but, it's like you might start a YouTube channel that no one's ever thought of before. You might start a business that no one's ever thought of before, because the energy exists. So take advantage of it. But you're going to have to explore. You're not going to find this on your couch. As I always say, it's like the thing that with the energy right now is we have to have experiences. Some of those experiences might be breakups, failures, everything in between, right? Because we learn from those things. So, I would say, get through it. With the Four of Swords, you have the Hermit here. Could be a Virgo coming in for you as well, but I also feel that you are clearly in hermit mode, and I feel like you need to, it's like the universe is saying, get out of the house. There you go. With the King of Swords, you have the Three of Cups. See, there are people who want to help you. The King of Swords to me is like an expert. He's someone who is smart, someone who maybe you see as a mentor. It doesn't matter what gender either. It could be any gender. But again, you might have people in your life who want to help you with your business, or who want to help you with your, your relationship problems or whatever. I would just make sure, again, it's like one thing to say, I always say don't share your ideas with other people, but really it's actually been proven that if you share your ideas with the right people, then you're more likely to succeed. So again, you have to determine who the right people are in your life. And again, I think the easy test is do they have things I want? Not necessarily material things, but do they live a life that I look up to, right? So if you have people like that in your life, then I think those are great people. You don't necessarily have to tell them everything that you're doing, but, there might be a person or people, because I'm saying people because Three of Cups, it's like multiple people. There might be a group of people who can really help you and, again, who can guide you. So don't be afraid to ask for help. And again, you can ask for help also, from smarter people without sharing your idea. Next, you have this rock bottom card and this cleaning house card. I do feel like some of you have cleaned house over the recent times. This is coming up in the area of the unexpected. I don't really think this is unexpected. I think it's going to be unexpected for other people. I'm pretty sure I've been saying this for months, that, I think what comes out of you over the next few years, especially, people are going to be very surprised by what you're able to create. But again, if you went through a rock bottom moment, or if you experienced a loss, I feel this had to happen. So you have that cleaning house card so that you could clean up the energy, so that you could truly get, to the place you need to be. You have the Hierophant, the Three of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. Definitely could be love coming in for you. You have the Ace of Cups here, Ace of Wands, very passionate connection. And I would say it might be divinely guided with that Hierophant. I don't really feel it. That's why I'm saying might be divinely guided. So, again, we're going to have to, we're going to clarify this row. We'll see what comes up. But, I kind of feel there's like a very strong connection coming in for you. You're probably going to meet this person in your community or through socializing. So again, get out in public. Three of Cups is a big celebration and happiness. I also do feel there is a lot more happiness. I mean, Ace of Wands is your emotions overflowing, and the Three of Cups is a card of celebration. So there clearly could be some sort of celebration. It could be that you feel that you're passing a test as well with the Hierophant. The Hierophant represents like the 3 stages of initiation. He has these 3 levels to his crown, and it represents initiation, apprenticeship, and mastery. And some of you, I feel, are getting to this mastery place in your life where maybe you feel you're just like better able to handle the challenges and difficulties of life, or you're just better able to, kind of move through life and, handle the things that come at you, right? So let's see. Definitely could be an earth sign coming in for you, by the way. You have a lot of like this earth. You have all 3 major arcana for all 3 earth signs: Devil, Hermit, and the Hierophant. So let's see here. With the Hierophant, you have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, don't rush anything at this time, I would say. There could be a person rushing in with communication, someone who's very passionate. Yeah, with the Three of Cups, you have the Lovers. Definitely love is what I would say. It's funny that I said I wasn't so sure that it was divinely guided, because I kind of felt it, but I kind of didn't. And the Knight of Swords is a little bit rushy. He's rushing too much. So I don't know if like someone's rushing into your life, or I kind of feel both. I feel that someone could be rushing towards you, but I also feel it's saying, don't you rush. You take your time. You make sure that you don't let this person, kind of talk you into something right away. I just wouldn't rush it. I don't think it's bad. I just think it shouldn't be rushed. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, lying, cheating, stealing. Some of you could have dealt with like a liar, cheater, stealer. And again, we have Venus going retrograde. So pretty much on at the end of the week. So, or I should say the end of next week. It's going to be on the 22nd. And so I just wouldn't like rush. I don't like this Venus retrograde energy. Almost every single person in the mid-monthly readings had something about an ex coming back. So again, if I would be careful of that. Next, in the good stuff, no matter what shows up here, it's going to be good no matter what. You have this card that says, when the weavers built the sun. Yes, they built it for you, is what I'd say. And then you have this card that says, all the willows know your name. So I feel all the people are going to know your name. I feel like you're stepping into this period of the sun, and there's like a lot of attention that's coming in for you. I feel you just have to create it. Those are literally the words I'm getting with the Ace of Wands. It's almost as if the universe has, carved out a space for you here, Pisces, and the universe is like saying, okay, this like needs to be filled with Pisces, and, something that Pisces creates. It's like the universe is just, kind of like tapping its foot, waiting for you to get moving with this Ace of Wands. That's what I feel. You have the Ace of Wands, Ten of Wands, and the Three of Swords. Some of you could be healing from a heartbreak, or you finally have moved past a heartbreak, Ten of Wands, Three of Swords. But again, it's showing up in the good stuff. So this would tell me that you have kind of like finally healed, you're moving on, you're moving past it. The Three of Swords is really a card of forgiveness as well. So, it could say that you're finally at that point of forgiveness as well, where you have kind of forgiven the situation. You have this Ten of Wands. I do also, I do feel the universe wants you to work smarter, not harder. I want to say this, Pisces. If you have two ideas, for example, like two business ideas, what you're doing right now is harder. I feel your new thing is 10 times easier. It's just popping into my head. So it could be business, could also be career. It's like maybe you have a career right now that's super complicated or whatever, and you're thinking about moving to something else. Again, I'm not saying this change has to happen overnight. Same thing with business. Obviously, I wouldn't just quit what you're doing and just, go to another thing without kind of having things lined up. So take the time to build a solid foundation. This whole entire reading is talking about a foundation. So if you're building something new, build it. Take the time to build it. Take the extra time to build it and all that other good stuff. But again, I feel that you're building something that's much more solid. Again, Ace of Wands, this castle back here is crumbling. It's meant to represent out with the old, in with the new. This is definitely the birth of something new, a creative new idea. I believe personally that we're in a time of inspiration, and, the Ace of Wands basically comes up for everyone. The Ace of Wands says, follow your inspirations. To me, it is like the spark of hope, the spark of life, the Ace of Wands. It's kind of like that one thing that we need that motivates us. And, I feel for a lot of you, a new creative venture or a new beginning is just the thing you need to get motivated. So, some of you could be moving, by the way, as well. And I always say, I think sometimes people think that if they move, that their life is totally going to be different. But it's like nothing changes. I moved from the East Coast to the West Coast years ago. And, it's like I thought things were really going to change. But it's funny because I never felt like I left. I just felt like everything was the same. But what I'm going to tell you here, Pisces, is that, I feel for some of you, if you are moving, you are actually going to feel the change. You are going to feel as if you have this new beginning. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Two of Cups. I'm telling you, there definitely could be love coming in for you here. I always tell people, I don't care if Venus is in retrograde. I actually think Venus retrograde can bring you the love of your life. I don't care what anyone says. I know that some astrologers say don't date during retrogrades. Definitely don't date during Venus retrograde. But there are actually some that do say what I say, which is definitely do date during Venus retrograde. Here's the thing. As I always tell people, it's like, the universe will never prevent you from having something that's meant for you. I truly believe that. So again, if you date a person and you're meant to be with them, you will be with them. The great news about Venus retrograde is it will fail fast. This is a good thing, right? Why would you want to be in something for years and years and years and years that doesn't work? I'd rather date someone during Venus retrograde, have it end quickly, and be like, well, they weren't right. And then I can be set free. Then I can move on to the next one. So like, don't be afraid of love right now. But again, we're not even in the retrograde yet. You have another week. So definitely could be love. With the Ten of Wands, you have the, what is this? I can't even see it. You have the Eight of Swords here, so definitely time. See, Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction. It's showing up in the good stuff, so I'd say that you probably are setting yourself free. But I would just make sure that you're focusing on efficiency and doing things that are efficient. With the Three of Swords, you have the Eight of Cups. Again, pretty simple. You're finally walking away and healing from something. Again, it's showing up in the good stuff. So I kind of feel that you are walking away from something that has been holding you back for a long time. Is there anything else that we can get from this reading? I just want to get a few more details. I'm going to use the Oracle of the Radiant Sun to get some more details. You have this speculation card here. I feel that you are about to come into a lot of abundance here, Pisces. This is Jupiter in Cancer. I also feel some of you could have a Cancer coming in for you, by the way. But this is a very abundant card. So I kind of feel like maybe you have some ideas about the future or things that you want to create. I would create them. That's what this whole entire reading says. I feel there's a ton of abundance coming in here. You have this friendship card. Some of you might start as friends with a person. You might just see how things go, and again, I think that would be a good thing. The whole entire reading is encouraging socializing as well. Three of Cups twice. I would get out there, socialize, meet new people, have fun. All that shows up here. Next, you have two cards actually. You have this excitement card and this manipulation card. This card is Jupiter and Scorpio. It is not like manipulation as in like the bad word manipulation. It's about manipulating energy. So it says you have the power to turn things around, and I would move towards excitement. I literally said this basically with the Ace of Wands, and you've probably heard me say it to other people. Same thing with the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands, he moves towards excitement. He moves towards things that get him excited in life, that motivate him, things that he actually wants to do, not things that he thinks other people want him to do. So I would move towards excitement. That's where you're going to be able to manifest the best. You also have the Secrets card here. Again, this is not necessarily a bad card. It does say that there are secrets to be learned, but this could be hidden or secret information. It could be that maybe you need to read a book about your business. Maybe there's an expert out there with the King of Swords that could teach you something about your business or your career or your love life or your health life or whatever it is that you're trying to improve. So, I would start doing your research here. I do feel for a small percentage of you, there could be some secrets coming out in your life. Devil, Three of Swords, Eight of Cups. Like maybe you're finally closing out a cycle with a person, but I don't know. I feel like you already know the secrets, Pisces. You are a Pisces. You probably already know. I feel like I've been saying this to you for weeks too, where if you're dealing with a past person, you probably already know everything. Next, and finally, you have this Charity card. I'm telling you right now, I know this as well, that if you are attracting a person into your life, I feel like you are attracting like the total opposite of whatever the past was. I feel like you're attracting someone who's very generous, who's very, this card says charity. I don't think this person sees you as a charity case, Pisces, but, I think you're attracting a person who's more than supportive, who wants to help you, who, wants to be more than just a partner, like really good connection. So I see love really kind of turning around for you here if you want it. But this looks really good, Pisces. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.